and 18 seconds to go.
They couldn't possibly pick that back, Peter.
But you never know. A couple of quick goals. Funny game, football.
Not wrong there.
Oh, there's a kick by Nicol. Here's a chance for Shane Williams. And that actually hit the behind post, so that'll be out of bounds for a throw-in.
He's done well, hasn't he, Nicol, up in that centre-half forward position. He's ruck work, he's kicking for goal, marking.
Well, here he is doing the ruck work, as you say, Don. Down to Cordy. Check side. Banana kick, whatever you want to call it, has hit the post.
Posted. 4:46 left in the game. 25 points. It's all but run for North Melbourne. This is Kerr now. Brings the ball back into play. And a good mark by Atkins. With that red hair. There's a few redheads out there, isn't he? Isn't there? Looks like Brad Hardy at a distance. Spiral punt kick. He's certainly got some distance with that. Here's a chance for North Melbourne. Scholl out to Kerr. Finally picked up out there on the outer flank by Steele. To Passmore. Slippery ball. Back to Atkins again. Baxter. Liberatore around Rock. And that's a really high kick. Nicol in the centre of the pack. Knocked away by Mackenzie. Back to Ramiro. Tries to find Lyle. Should have gone the knock on perhaps. Good tackle, McPherson. Who's got it? It's holding the ball. I think that was predictable.
He's a very slow mover, isn't he? And slow thinker, Mark Lyle.
I don't know about the latter, but he certainly didn't move too quickly there. So Steve McPherson, who's kicked 3 goals. Short pass, looks for James, couldn't find him at the fall of the ball. Schwass. So to his Sviva, pressuring him, likewise Cronin. Took back to midfield. Over the back, Dwyer in front is Allday. That's a good mark. No play on, says the umpire. Allday hasn't heard him, neither has the man on the mark, Dwyer. He's gone out wide and he's found Steve McPherson. McPherson just off the practice wicket area at left half forward. He's kicked 3 goals for Footscray, as has Nicol. This is Cullen now taking the mark. Cullen's been a rather handy player. Into the pocket. No success in that move. Ball out of bounds. It'll be thrown in about 35 metres from the behind post. Hitting up a little bit sore was Scholl.
Crowd strangely quiet too for a grand final.
It's like a public library, Don, isn't it?
Yeah, usually they're starting to get a little vocal.
Oh, Rock nearly had his head taken off. Gets the hand pass out to O'Donoghue, and he gets North clear.
It's a beautiful play again, that by young Rock. Fitzpatrick's had a magnificent quarter. He's just dominated that back line. So you see a good mark there taken by Scholl. This is Craig Scholl, who I know at the start of the year North Melbourne had very high hopes for. There's Allday attempting to take the mark. It's at centre wing. North Melbourne desperately trying to get it forward. Fitzpatrick comes in and gets yet another kick as he hooks it back towards the half forward line. O'Donoghue goes back. He can't grab it. Murphy's there. He'll probably let this head for the line. He does. And all the sting's gone right out of North Melbourne. We've got just over 2 minutes of play left in this match, and Footscray have it well won. 17-13 to 13-12 as Brenton Vilton's about to come on the ground short.
Liberatore kicks it straight out of bounds. That will do Footscray's cause no harm.
He's had a quiet day, hasn't he, Tony Liberatore, having won the Gardner medal
for the second time, I think.
Very well decorated player, having won the Morrish medal and 2 Gardner medals.
Lyle gets this one out the back to Rock. Come on, I think got kicked in the shin. Ball booted up to Campbell. It eludes him, and also Mackenzie is through for 1 behind. A minute and a half left in the game. 17-14 to 13-12. So 26 points the difference in favour of Footscray after they trailed at quarter time by a point, but they got their act together. And after that, this is Murphy. Looked around for the ball and ultimately found it. This is Schwass now at right centre wing. Back to that same player in Murphy. Over the top to Ramiro, who seems to have recovered from that knock he got. Tatsaris, I would have thought, got it in the back. This is McCann, only kick number 3 for the day. Much away from Fitzpatrick. A chance for Longmire to fire a goal, which he does, and find success. So 4 goals to John Longmire. Losing score, not a bad effort. 20 points still in.
Yes, and you see there, North Melbourne players realise that their case is lost. There was not much jubilation after this high ball from McCann. Longmire stands his ground in front of the pack. Doesn't take a step to kick. bangs through for his 4th goal, but North Melbourne, realising the situation may be hopeless, 20 points behind. 96 playing 116.
45 seconds of play left in this match. Footscray will be the premiers. Well deserved too. They've been on top all year. Been the outstanding reserve side. And this man has been outstanding today, Atkins. Beautiful long kick. Terrific kick that was to Campbell. And Campbell is marked about 40 metres out from goal. Now he's kicking it across goal, looking for the loose man. Let's see if it comes off. Nichols there. It's a stalemate as players pouncing on top of the ball. The clock ticking down. 20 seconds of play left in this match. And by the time the umpire bounces it, he might be lucky to even get a kick in here. 10 seconds. We may not get any more play.
Keep talking, Peter.
5 seconds. We're not going to see any more play. No one's going to get a kick. Is the umpire about to bounce it? And there's the siren.
Footscray, meritorious winners of the reserve grade competition. Joy in the Footscray box, Joy out on the field. The final scores 17-14, 116, defeating North Melbourne 14-12, 96. And I suppose if we were to pick a quarter in which the Bulldogs won it, it was the second term when they booted 9 goals 4 to North Melbourne's 4 goals 2, and they were never headed from that point on. North Melbourne at 1 or 2 stages got to within 18 points, but Footscray had the numbers. They were able to go on with it, and around the ground a much stronger side.
Tony Liberatore, Brenton Vilchins, Rod Alston.
Pretty happy man.
Oh, you would be.
I wonder where he'll be next year.
I think Footscray would be very keen to keep him as a backup to Mick Malthouse. A good double. And they're following the pattern out of Collingwood that Lee Matthews adopted. Don, bring in the youth. It didn't pay dividends last year, but I think we saw it for Collingwood this year, and I'm sure Footscray will certainly be improved next year with the youth they've got in this premiership winning reserves grade side. So checking the final scores, Footscray 17-14, 116, winning the reserve grade flag over North Melbourne 14-12, 96. Check to those final scores so far. It's been 1-1 for North Melbourne. They won the under-19s 18-16 in a walkover from Essendon 6-5. And in the reserve grade competition just finished, it was Footscray's turn. They defeated North Melbourne 17-14 to 14-12. For Footscray, McPherson got 3 goals. So too did Nicol. Campbell got 2, and the rest was Shear. Or Cullen also got 2 goals for North Melbourne. Love got 3 goals and Longmire 4. Let's go to Steve Fabrilliant on the boundary now, and he speaks with victorious coach Rod Austin.
Thanks very much, Pete. Well, that's a relief and a pleasure for you, Rod.
Oh, it sure is. It's 26 years since Footscray side stood on the ground and enjoyed a premiership, and full credit to the boys. And Simon Atkins. So they really do like this. Terrific.
You didn't need that.
Total respect, fellas. Total respect.
You managed to keep out of the rain while it was happening. Thanks very much.
Yeah, terrific.
And of course, the different results. What happened to you last year?
Oh, yes, last year was disappointing, and actually there's only 7 players I think from last year's side, and the boys who were there are determined to do very well, and the new players we brought in this year, the first year players have been terrific.
A pretty scrappy first quarter, and then it came good. What was the difference?
Oh, that's just the way I think we play. I mean, we have to scratch and bite and everything else and start and get sides realising that they're playing against Footscray and make it very hard for them. Then we can start playing football and the game flows from there. We like it tight and tough early. That's the only way we can do it, so we're quite happy for that.
Rod, I can't let you go without finding out what you're going to do next year.
Oh, I'm going to have a good night tonight. I don't know about next year. I'm going to have a terrific night tonight, I tell you.
Amongst the players that you have got here and today, particularly, who were you pleased with?
I was pretty happy with the overall team. I mean, it's hard to individualise straight after the game. I thought the back line was terrific. Troy Maloney, Zeno, Fitzpatrick, Phil Cronin, Stewie Wigney, all those blokes. They did a terrific job, and they really set the game for the forward line. They held out when it was necessary, and the forward line players, when they played in front, did a good job too. The centre line, I think winning centre line MCG is one of the keys to it, and I thought our 3 centre line players did very well over the whole day.
You look around the ground at the flags, it seems to be a swirling breeze, and yet at ground level it favours the grand western end. Is it a factor?
Oh, I think you're right when you say the wind does swirl, and obviously with the kicking and the skills they were down a bit. I don't think it really favours one end. Psychologically, ground tends to drift this way a bit, but overall, no. I think it's just when the ball's in the air, you just make the most of it, because it is like now it's blowing now, so there's no real advantage.
Congratulations, Rod. Have a good night tonight. All the best.
Thanks very much.
Pete, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve, and congratulations to Rod Austin and the Footscray boys. A job well done. They've had a good season and they capped it off with the flag this afternoon. So we're getting ready now for the presentation of the reserve grade competition. Footscray, as we mentioned at the start of the telecast, finished on top of the ladder. They had a 2-game break over their nearest opponent, and of course they had the week's rest, and it certainly stood them in good stead. Let's check the stats on the final quarter this afternoon.
We must also recognise the great effort during the era of the North Melbourne Football Club, and we pass on our congratulations to that club as well. Could I ask Brian Cordy to step forward to receive the Premiership Cup? Congratulations, Brian, a great achievement. Well done. Well done.
Commiserations to the boys from North Melbourne. They put up a great fight and they've had a very good final series. Just a word of thanks to Rod Austin, our coach, who's done a fantastic job with the young blokes here. And what you're looking at today is the future of the Footscray Football Club. Well done.
I'm sure we'd all like to hear.
Job well done from Footscray, of course. I guess their supporters are really wondering where they're going to play next year. This will certainly give them some heart with the job done by the youngsters. So just repeating the final scores in the reserve grade competition, Rod Austin making a speech, but we've heard him interviewed by Steve Rebellion, and the final scores in the reserve, Footscray